Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome back to War on the Sea. Today in episode 39, the Massachusetts is, well, we can actually rename her the Massacre, because she keeps butchering destroyers. In the last episode she got 3 and it looks like we're going to take down another 3. Sea state's 5, the weather's clear. I think the Massachusetts can have some fun. And at the same time, of course, we can start to reduce the amount of destroyers that the Japanese have. Again, I want the McDonough and the Farragut to disengage. I feel like I don't need those because we're dealing with destroyers, not submarines. And these guys are too valuable to lose or to even get damaged. So I'm very much curious, or I'm very cautious with these guys. I need them to live. Surprisingly, I haven't found the Japanese group yet. Visibility is 70%. I have radar running. Wildcats are leaving, that's fine. What? How am I not capable of seeing those Japanese destroyers yet? And why can I not use time compression anymore? They were spotted to the north, so I'm thinking somewhere between 270 and 045. There's just nothing out here. And there was definitely an encounter with destroyers, not submarines this time around. I'm 100% positive of that. Contact! There they are. What do you have for me today? Range 20,000 yards. All 3 of them are here. Ish. I just lost one. Okay. Gives me some time to ID. Not a kamikaze class. I just want these things sorted by the Japanese. Dual turret on the stern. Flat on the deck. Assuming Hatsuharu class. But I can't spot them. They seem to be perfectly capable of hitting me or finding me, but that's a one-way street. I cannot see them. Oh, I should have kept those Wildcats in. Because they can strafe. Oh well. We'll just have to let the Flint do it. Now, Flint, we can already engage with the forward battery, narrow firing spread, no full, high explosive, and spot. Engage. We're using the spot, in case you don't know. You can have a ship fire, and then first see where the shells are splashing down, before trying to fire another salvo. What I'm actually surprised about, though, is that the Flint doesn't have the same range as a destroyer. I find that really curious. It was a Hatsuharu. Those things can range at 16,000. That's how far they can fire. Why is this thing shooting me? What the hell? The range is 19,000 yards. Why are these things even trying to hit me? Sashio class, torps, small funnel, big funnel. What firing range do you have? 20,000 yards. Okay, you can get that far. I'm just not sure about the other guy. I think this is another Sashio. So that would explain why the Flint's not shooting. Because the Flint doesn't have the range. The Massachusetts, probably much to the chagrin of the TDs, does have that range. We just have to let them build their solution a little bit, because I'm not firing at 14. Whoa, that was accurate. Accurate incoming fire. Flint, I want you that way. Massa, that way. Increase speed to flank. Both ships. Range 18,000 yards. At this point, you might be able to engage. What's the firing range on these boys? Light cruiser. There we go. They're in range. Atlantic class. 17,392 yards. So they just got into range. Massachusetts, of course, does really not have the same problem. She ranges, what, 30,000 yards? 36,000 for North Carolina class. This is a South Dakota, but it's the same range. So, a couple of destroyers again. I really love to sink a battleship, if only to get a few more command points to spend on even more ships. But I guess these guys will have to do. Solution 99. Okay, we can take you off of spot and just engage like that. Massachusetts. Narrow spread. Fire. Let's see how quickly we can demolish these things. Solution from the massa is only 60 and dropping. It's probably because the target's moving. It's changing direction. Not a bad idea either, but I'm kind of nervous about those torpedo launchers. Because if they start to cross my T, then those torps could come into play. And the torpedo range, let's have a look at that. Destroyers of the Japanese persuasion. Natsuharu. 16,000 yards, so they're definitely inside a torpedo range. If they want to launch those, they can. Speed 25 knots. Ooh, close splashes there. Not close enough, not a hit. That was a hit. I think that was the Flint, considering the amount of splashes. Just need to hit him a few times, slow him down, and eat him. Oh, so close. Come on, boys. You got this. There we go. That's another hit. For now, I'd say the blockade is working. The blockade of, well, currently the Massachusetts and the Flint, but also, of course, the backing up of the aircraft carrier and all the the submarines, to allow for a larger screening force that makes sure that these guys don't make it out of Japanese waters, or at least not very far. One of them substantially damaged. Must be their lead guy. Yeah. And they keep getting hammered. It's a bit of a butchery. These poor DDs can't really do anything. They can just sit here and take it. And sure enough, they're doing their level best, firing back with 5-inch guns. But it's really the torpedoes that they should be using if they want to do any kind of reliable damage against either the Flint or the Massachusetts. Let's angle the Massachusetts a bit more to port. Oh, the 5-inch guns can fire. Never mind. We're fine. We are closing the range, hopefully making it more reliable to hit the targets. I think we're looking at heavy damage on this ship. Critical damage even. Heavy flooding. Alright, that means that the Flint can cease fire against that target. We can start building a solution against the target 2, Sashio. Solution going up quickly. Ammo, 1620. Ammo on the stern, still not being used. That's more like it. Steady as she goes. I think this thing's had it. Massa, stop with one of the fire directors and start. There she goes. Okay. Target Sashio. You're going to take down that one. Flint. New target. Target 2 Sashio. Massachusetts. Target 3 Sashio. You boys are not launching torps by any chance? No. No, they are not. How many of these do they have left? Sashios. A lot. Okay. And the Hatsuharus? Because I thought they also had a load of those. Not anymore. 3 alive, 3 dead. Although I'm not sure if that's counting the current ships. That one. The one that's going down. Solution's not great because the target's suddenly running away. Set a new course, Flint. Any hits? Oh yeah. Target 3 has been messed up. Target 2? Not yet. Give it a minute. Oh, minor damage to the Flint. They managed to hit the bridge. Repair parties are on it. Oh, this thing is done for. Target 3. 7 knots. And I think that's due to battle damage, not because they're trying to shift formation and fall in behind the second Asashio. Damage presumably critical. Moderate and moderate flooding. Oh, hold on, they're speeding up again. 14 knots. I think flooding is critical considering the ship is almost underwater at this point. Confirm? Heavy flooding? Really? That's heavy flooding. It's critical flooding that just having the whole ship underwater. Look at that thing. What about the other guy? Perfectly fine? Unexpected. Any further damage? Yeah, port torpedo launchers. We have a little bit of flooding on the bow and the bridge is once again hit. Massachusetts, nothing whatsoever. Now, this is where I'm struggling a bit with content, by the way, for this game. It's getting repetitive. It's just me sinking a submarine here, a few destroyers there, fending off an airstrike there. It feels like early game you have a lot to do. You're the underdog. You need to make sure that your aircraft carrier, if you field that at all, survives, does a lot of damage, and that you win back control of at least the areas close to you. Once you have that, and I think I'm in mid-game, maybe early-late game, there's just not that much going on. Sure, I've taken a lot of their cruisers out of play, with destroyers, airstrikes, battleships, but it feels a bit like the game is sort of on easy mode. And maybe that's because I have all the aircraft carriers out, both the Hornet and the Enterprise, although the Enterprise is now back in for repairs, but not before doing a whole lot of damage. It's... I don't know. It's becoming a bit easy. What are you up to? Are you taking more damage? Little bit. There goes the Asashio. One of them. No, you're not done yet. Build a new solution and finish off the third. I think it's the Massachusetts and her 16-inch guns that are doing the most damage against these guys. Unfortunately, you don't get an after-action report that says, hey, this ship did this much damage, that ship did that much. But I just don't feel like the Flint's contributing a whole lot to this particular battle. And I might be wrong about that, but it feels like these 5-inch guns are either not hitting or just not doing enough damage. Whereas the Massa's 16s, oh boy, that's something entirely different. Why are we firing armor piercing? I think that's not quite what we need. Range, 10,000 yards, and increasing. Range 10,000 yards and also increasing. That way. No, that way. Gotta make sure that those stern batteries keep working. Otherwise I'm gonna have an Atlanta class, which only has her bow turrets. Or rather, which only has her stern turrets because her bow turrets are out. Is that the Flint on fire? Yeah. Not a priority. Get rid of that fire. There we go. Now we're finally getting some damage on this ship. How are the 5-inch guns on the Massa doing? 4100, that's the port battery. I keep engaging with the starboard. They still have plenty left at 2300. But maybe the next time I encounter a ship, I should just go with the port side battery. Yeah, the port side battery. To make sure that I balance out the shells a bit. Because now I can still pick which one I fire. At some point, if the battle becomes intense, I might not have that luxury. And I might have to go for a side which I don't like, which might be out of ammo. Not much later, the Hatsuharu and both the Sashios, if I identified those properly, are down. The Flint has taken minor damage, but it's nothing that cannot be repaired at sea. So I can just keep the ships over here. Maybe just have them move back and forth a bit. And have the Massachusetts launch another Kingfisher. So that we can have a bit more scouting out there. Wildcats are coming back. To make sure that I still have another patrol out there before they come down, I'm going to launch them now. Like that. And over here, we're still trying to get stuff vectored over to this submarine. Now, you won't believe it, but like not 2 minutes later, the Massachusetts encounters another 3 DDs. Just to ensure that I actually sunk, or yeah, sunk that what I thought I sunk. Oh, it was a Yugumo. It was a Yugumo, a Hanasashio, and a Hatsuharu. And previously it was 2 Shiratsuyus and a Mitsuki. Yeah, okay. So, we're once again going to go into contact. And we're once again going to sink 3 destroyers. Game plan is the same. McDonough is going to peel off to port. And do that at best speed. The Farragut is going to do it at the starboard at best speed. Flint and Massachusetts. We're going to enable radar and, if you have it, sonar. You never know. And we're going to see what these things will bring me. And this time around, I have a whole flight of Wildcats. These are not really supposed to be used against destroyers, but it doesn't mean that they can't. They very much can. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We need to form up. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Form up. You guys over there. You guys over there. These guys can be very, very useful when it comes to dealing with the destroyers. I just don't want you forming up in a line. Vic would be better. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Form up in a Vic. So, these guys were coming in from the north, right? That's where I'm expecting them. Sea State 5 hasn't improved since last time. Let's see. If they're coming in from the north, let's try and meet them there. Interestingly, I cannot speed up. Just not sure why. Now, there's the Kingfisher that's out west. Huh. There they are. Flint, range. 22,000 yards. Okay, what are we looking at today? Aggressive destroyers, which are already pointing their guns at me. That is quick. Not an Akazuki, doesn't have enough torpedo launchers. Torp, turret. Funnel's too small, or too big, rather. That's more like it. Assume target 1, Hatsuharu. They now only have 2 of those left. Target 2. Oh, you're an older one. Are you a Momi class or a Waka... No, not a Wakataki, right? No. Kamikaze class is more likely. Yeah, they still have a ton of those. 3. I'm still so bad with these ship classes. How many guns are you supposed to have? 6. This one has 5. Not a Fubuki. This one also has 6. This one has 5. Another Hatsuharu. That would be the last Hatsuharu, potentially. Massachusetts, start building a solution on the lead. Steady as she goes. Flint, steady as she goes. Let's get the Wildcats involved. I think this flight is much closer than the other one. Yeah. Alright, gentlemen. New plan, that way. And I want you at a much, much lower altitude. Because from that altitude, you're going to have a really hard time strafing anything. Flint, target that one. You already got a solution on target 1, but your range was 17 something. Massachusetts will have a better range. Solution 60, good enough. High explosive, fire. Ammunition storage. Some high explosive left. And I need to engage with the port side guns. Okay, new plan. That way. At best speed. 27 knots. I want to engage with the port side secondary battery. That way I can balance out the firepower. 4100 here, 2200 there. The other Wildcats are going to take a bit longer to arrive. That's Wildcat Flight 8. I have these guys come in from here. The other guys are almost... Well, they're not almost in striking position, but... getting there. Oh, they're still, they're still 23,000 yards out. Never mind then. Set the course. Massachusetts. Solution only 62. 64, 66. Nah, something like that. We're not even close with those shells. Go for spotting. I'm going to see where my shells drop before I launch another salvo. Because I don't have that many high explosives left here. Gotta be a bit more careful with my shells now. Full speed. Fuel is not a consideration for these Wildcats. At least not one that I know of. Over there. Maximum speed. We're going to cut them off, and we're going to have the Massachusetts come in from the side, and same for the Wildcats. Ideally, I want to have the Wildcats strafe them and do engine damage. Of course, there's no way to impact that. But with engine damage, at least, they're going to have a much easier time getting hit by the battleship. Flint, feel free to engage. 16,000, there we go, ready. Wildcats. Commence your attack. Everybody's going to go on a solo attack run here. Flight 8. How far are you away, guys? 23,000 yards. So you're going to take a lot more time to arrive. That's fine. I do feel like the AI is not using the torpedoes and the destroyers enough. I have seen them launch at times, but it feels very rare. Like they almost never do. Let's see, are these things completely intact? Yes. So any damage that I do right now is going to come sheerly out of the Wildcats. If you don't mind, just hold for a second. Form up. And head that way. So, what do we do to you, huh? Minor, minor. Okay. Are my birds? This one's trailing smoke. That's not good. The rest of them seem fine. Oh, you've already taken damage from the battleship, haven't you? Either from the battleship or the flint. I don't really care which one it is. So long as you get the message. You are undesirable in this space of the ocean. Moderate damage and heavy flooding on the lead ship. That's fast. Really fast, in fact. Who has such a good solution on you? 84, 99. It feels like this battleship, the Massachusetts, is very, very accurate. Interesting. Okay, you, all of you, are going to do target 2. Of course, you're going to have to do your little dance. Spinning round. Otherwise, you cannot strafe because you're just too high up. Any damage to the flint? No, nothing. Damage to the massa? Nothing. Carry on. Looks like this thing is going to need a few more nudges and then sink. This one... It looks impressive, but I think the damage is only minor. Yeah. But your damage is already critical. So that one's going to go down very quick. Which means that I can set at least one fire director already on the second target. Kamikaze. Massachusetts, same deal. Stop. Switch to Kamikaze. At least one fire director, that is. And the flight is coming in. Ready to strafe. Once these guys have completed their strafing run, I'm going to tell them to get out. Because I don't mind if they take a little bit of damage, but I do not want them shot down. That's important. Because getting a resupply for the Hornet's going to take a long time. There goes the Hatsu. Flint. Target 2. Enable. Massachusetts. Target 2. Enable. Flight 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Pepper the guy. That will do. Form up on 8. Get to 10,000 feet and get out of here. Did that thing take any damage from that? Minor. No flooding. Some of my aircraft have taken some damage, but they're not dead. Excellent. Alright, Flint, Massachusetts, the rest of it is yours. Finish them off. Make sure that these guys do not go home or harass any of my submarines. We can cease with the splash spotting. Same for you. We can actually already set a firing solution on the Hatsuharu as well. Range 12,800 yards. Flint's probably a bit closer. 10,000 yards to her target, Kamikaze. Stop with the second. Target the other one. First time that I'm splitting my firing directors like this. I hope it's not going to cause any substantial amounts of inaccuracy. Worth a test, I say. You guys fixed your damage or something? No. Not really. Oh, the other wildcats are already out of the area. Yeah. That's fine. Those guys did their job. Just strafe, misdirect, just draw their attention, and now they can disengage. Thinking the stern battery isn't opening up. There we go, now it is. Firing angle wasn't quite good enough, but it is now. 800 shells on the bow turrets. I'm going to tell them to cease fire on the bow turrets. Because there's no acute threat. So, let's say that... I'm going to hold on this one, hold on that one, hold on that one. The rest of them can keep going. I thought we took a hit there, but we're fine. Okay. Not so fine is the kamikaze. They are, however, heading away at 30 knots. So they're increasing the range. I just hope that the massa can sink them fast enough before we lose too much accuracy on them. I have a 76 on the kamikaze. I'm going to switch all of our attention to the Hatsuharu. No, not with AP, with HE. Oh, you guys are out of HE. That's why. That would explain it, I suppose. Report. Moderate damage to the kamikaze. Good. Flint, you can take care of that one. Just stay with him. They're doing 30 knots. You can do 33. But we're sailing at a bit of an odd angle, considering that the bow turrets are on ammo conservation mode. Wildcats are leaving. That's good. Ooh. That was close enough to cause damage. Flint and Massachusetts now working together. With effect, it seems. Jesus. Just imagine being on that ship and just getting splashes all over the place. And then suddenly an explosion on your stern. Join the Navy, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Yeah, and then the Massachusetts turned up. And your battleships and airstrikes are either unwilling or incapable of going after it. I think Hatsuharu's pretty much had it. Moderate damage, heavy damage. We need to switch your fire back to the kamikaze. Oh crap, we're also using the bow turrets again. Yeah, whatever, fire. Because she is starting to escape. I don't want her escaping. I want no survivors. Well, I mean, the sailors are fine, but the destroyers have to get knocked out. Flint, are you burning? You are. Starboard torpedo launcher took some damage. This thing is a burning wreck. The Hatsuharu, it's not even moving anymore. Pretty much toast. Critical? Critical. Critical and critical. Good. Okay, Massa, we're going to switch your fire over to the kamikaze. Range 16,000 yards, which means that it might just be outside the range of the secondaries. 15... No, that's their maximum range. No, that's the current range that they're trying to fire at. That's it. It's not too bad. Come on. Ooh, close, but not close enough. I had to mute my mic there for a second as a sudden hailstorm erupted outside. It's a bit unusual for April, but not unheard of. Oh, come on. She's still doing good speed despite her battle damage. There, another hit. 27 knots still. All the Wildcats have now left. Massa's range is getting too big. But the Kamikaze can outrun her. Flint? 600 shells. So of course directly towards the Hatsuharu. Oh sorry, towards the Kamikaze. You know what, this thing is heading in a straight line, right? So I can kind of predict where she's going to be next. I just don't exactly know when she's going to be there. So this is kind of blind firing. Kind of predicting where she might be. Not quite. $570 shells. These all draw from the same magazine. No, that's not going to work. Not giving her enough lead, I think. Give me a full spread. I think the narrow spread is just not quite going to catch her. Firing solution from the Massachusetts is still pretty good, but I think the Kamikaze might outrun the damage here. Or not. No, I don't want to leave. Heavy damage. Just need a few more hits. Maybe one or two more 16-inch hits and she's done for. Speed on the Kamikaze, 28 knots. Speed on the Flint, 33. No, 29. Hold up. I'm not too sure why. Do we have a headwind? Wind speed, 22.9 knots. I just don't know where the wind's blowing from. What direction? Because the Flint normally can do 33 knots. She is set to max out, but she's not doing it. Hold on, you even stopped fire? Oh, right. Yeah, of course you did. Hatsuharu, we're going to engage the Hatsuharu's third battery. Come left. There. Now we can engage two different targets. Kamikaze, however... Oh, hold on. Kamikaze is doing 8 knots. I think she's critical. Basically done for. And of course the Massachusetts also stopped firing because she's no longer... Well, she's... how do I put this? Once I click retreat, all the guns stop firing. There, goes the Hatsuharu. Leaving just a heavily damaged kamikaze alive. If you want to call it that. Yeah, she's definitely alive. She's still kicking. Massa, finish her. Massa, narrow spread. Fire. She's now much slower. Maybe the manual fire is going to have a better chance. Manual fire. There. Prepare to engage. Ooh, that was a bit over. If it came from the Massa. Flint's out there on the horizon. No longer burning. That's good. Just did send out a salvo. Not really seeing the results. Let's just let the AI do it. A few hundred HE shells later, this is the result. Flint miner, damage miner flooding. I might have to send her back for repairs and resupplies anyway. And 3 more destroyers have been sunk. Now IIDT says 2 Hatsus and a kamikaze. Let's see if I was right. Enemy losses. A Hatsuharu, a kamikaze, and an Asashio. Okay. So, does that leave the Japanese without Hatsuharus, or do they still have some left? They still have 1, the Yugure. When it comes to the Asashio class, they're probably in a much better condition. Yeah, they still have a few of those left. So, a few more Japanese sunk. That means that I have 84 command points, so that I can rebuy the Enterprise when she comes back. But that's going to be in a while, because the Enterprise is still going to need 5 more days to repair. Anyway, we'll deal with that in the next episode. For now, thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you soon for more episodes.